Hello everybody, this is The Freshman, Book 2, Chapter 4. Rehearsals have begun for Rosethorn Park. You memorized all your lines, right? Nope. Chapter 4. Playing the Part. You push through the crowd to see the cast list, finally coming face to face with the lined paper stapled to the theater bulletin board. Playing the role of William is... Caitlin? Whoa, really? But I read for Duke Eccleston. So if you're William, who am I? Looks like you got Duke Eccleston. Guess we switched parts. Well, if I can't be a hot stable boy, I guess a hot Duke's the next best thing. I don't remember seeing hot anywhere in his character bio. Come on, Tyler, just let me have this one. You and Caitlin step aside so everyone else can look at the cast list. So, looks like we're co-stars now. You excited? Definitely. I can't wait to... yeah, spend time with you. Relationship improved. Your relationship with Caitlin will be affected. I think for this book I can't really pursue a relationship with Caitlin because... it's about doing James's play, and I'm clearly in some sort of relationship with him, so it just wouldn't be right. Same. We're gonna be together pretty much 24/7. Hopefully you don't get sick of me. That's impossible. I'm just glad we'll have plenty of time to rehearse our stage kiss together. Well, that kind of erased everything I just said. Okay. Are you at all, nervous about that? Huh? What's there to be nervous about? Oh, nothing. Never mind, I'm being silly. This'll be fun. Just then, James arrives, carrying a dozen scripts under his arm. Ah, I see you've all found the cast list. Yeah, and I'd like to have a word. Let's just get this out of the way now. All casting decisions are final. So long as you're performing on my stage, I make the rules. But you obviously just cast Mary because... I'm done talking about this. Did James's character model change a little bit? His head looks rounder. Huh. If we're going to have a problem, you can just leave now. Got it? Becca glares at James but doesn't say anything more. He shifts his attention to Caitlin. Caitlin, can I have a word with you in private? I want to give you some backstory on William. Okay. As Caitlin follows James to the theater's attached office, Chris ambles over, looking sheepish. Guess I got a little ahead of myself, thinking I'd be the lead, huh? Not at all. You did your best. Yeah, I guess I'm just used to my best being good enough. Well, you can't be good at everything, right? Guess not. But I'd settle for being good at just one thing other than football. It's not like you're bad at this. Duke Eccleston's still a pretty sizable role. I know you're right, but somehow I still feel like I'm right back on the bench like I was at the start of the year. Just then, Caitlin comes out of the office with a sly smile on her lips and walks over to you and Chris. What were you two talking about in there? James told me a secret about my character to help me with my performance. Really? What is it? I can't tell you, duh. Then it wouldn't be a secret. James leans around the corner of the director's office door and calls you in. Your turn, Mary. Could you join me in here? Sure thing. Looks like I'll have a secret of my own soon enough. Bet mine's better. Right. You find James sorting through stacks of character bios and scene outlines, his brow furrowed. Busy day? You have no idea. I'm starting to think I need an assistant. I'd offer my services, but I suspect I'm about to be very preoccupied with rehearsals. You are indeed, which brings me to the reason I called you in here. You're going to tell me a secret about my character? How did you... Caitlin blabbed. Should have known. If it's any consolation, she absolutely refused to tell me what her character's secret actually is. Good on her. Essentially, the secret's just an actor's tool to help you find the character, so to speak. The audience won't know about it, but you will. I've decided that Elizabeth's secret should be... Hold up. If the audience won't even know about it, I feel like I should come up with Elizabeth's secret. Okay. What did you have in mind? Let me think. I don't remember anything about this character. Yeah, she wants to leave home and become an adventurer. Why not? I like it. Stories of exotic adventures were wildly popular with the English gentry back in those days. It makes sense for Elizabeth to grow up reading those stories and dreaming of a life beyond her family's estate. And her attraction to William makes even more sense now, since he actually saw some of that world during the war. James shuffles some papers on his desk and stands up, heading for the door. Well, I guess we've got that sorted. I look forward to working with you, Mary. Same. I feel like the most appropriate answer would be the first one, because the other ones are kind of off track. I can hardly wait for opening night. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still tons of work to do. You're a lot of fun, you know that? I try. Want me to send anyone else in? Not right now. We should get the whole cast working together as soon as possible. I'm thinking we'll do our first line reading now. Sounds like a plan, Mr. Director. You follow James out into the theater, where the rest of the cast sits scattered through the seats, talking and laughing with their friends. All right, everyone, listen up. I'd like us to do our first line read, just to go through the script and get a sense of the play as a whole. Everyone ready? I'll read the stage directions. The year is 1897. The light of dawn slants through the curtains of Elizabeth Darling's bedroom, waking her. Today's the day! Will's coming home! Within a few days, you're rehearsing on stage with full blocking. This is preposterous! Lord Rathbone is an excellent match. An excellent match, I tell you! Your father's right, Elizabeth. He's one of the wealthiest bachelors in the country. What reason could you possibly have to not desire him? You don't understand, father, and you never will. You turn and flee off stage, slamming the door of Abby's set so it nearly falls off its hinges. Oops, sorry, Mary. I'll get to work on fixing that. You and Caitlin stand in a rosy spotlight rigged up by Tyler and hold each other close. I thought I'd never see you again, Will. Oh, Lizzie, don't you know I'd never leave you? But the war! I was so afraid. I hardly dared dream you'd return to me. I'm here now, aren't I? Caitlin tucks a stray strand of hair behind your ear and leans in close. So, this is when we would kiss, right? Yes? Please just continue with the scene. Caitlin, are you nervous about this? No, of course not. Are you sure? You're nervous. Yes, I'm nervous. Why? With everyone turned to look at the two of you, Caitlin hurriedly walks off stage and heads for the theater doors. Sorry, I just need a second, okay? Of course. James gestures for you to follow Caitlin with a meaningful tilt of his head. Probably best to make sure she's okay. Of course, I'll be right back. You follow Caitlin out into the snow and find her sitting by herself on a bench, her face in her hands. Caitlin? Hey, Mary. I'm fine now. I just needed some air. I'll be right back inside to finish the scene. You sit down on the bench beside her. You're clearly not fine. What's going on? It's so dumb, honestly. I don't mind. Caitlin lets her hands fall into her lap and sighs. It's just, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm not, out back home. I told one of my closest friends back in high school, but nobody else knows, including my parents. Oh, Caitlin. I guess seeing them again over break and then coming back here and kissing a girl in front of all our friends and stuff, I just suddenly imagined how they would react if they saw that. I love them, but they're not the most open-minded people in the world. I'm sorry, Caitlin. But you shouldn't... Well... I'm glad you told me about this. Thanks, Mary. I know it's a little awkward for you to hear. Don't worry about me. I just want to make sure you're okay. You pull Caitlin into a hug as the snow falls gently around you. She sniffles into your shoulder. You're the best. Seriously, I don't know what I did to deserve a friend like you. I think you kind of sealed the deal when you didn't tease me for showing up with coffee stains on my clothes. That's all it took, huh? Hey, I'm easily impressed. Caitlin giggles and wipes at her eyes. Ready to go back inside? Caitlin nods slowly. Yeah, I think I am. You and Caitlin go back inside the theater. James looks up, relieved to see Caitlin looking more cheerful. Everything okay? We can break for the day if you want. That won't be necessary. Tyler, cue the romantic lighting. On it. You and Caitlin take your marks on stage and you resume your scene. Oh, Lizzie, don't you know I'd never leave you? But the war! I was so afraid. I hardly dared dream you'd return to me. I'm here now, aren't I? Caitlin puts a hand on your waist and pulls you close, then leans in to kiss you, her mouth finding yours as the rest of the cast starts cheering. Ow, ow, ow! Take notes, boys. I don't have anything to write with. Good thing I never leave home without my sonic screwdriver pen. Ugh, nerd. You and Caitlin break apart and James flashes you both a thumbs up. Excellent work, both of you. This play lives or dies by the romantic chemistry between its leads. And so far, I'd say we're in safe hands. A short while later, you and your friends are helping James tidy up the theater after rehearsal. Hey, Mary, thanks again for talking me through that. I know I kinda made a scene in front of everyone. Don't be embarrassed, and if you ever want to talk, I'm always here. Actually, I was kinda thinking we could go shopping. Huh? Well, I know James doesn't expect us to get costumes in time for opening night since it's less than a week away, but I thought, why not try, you know? There's this costume store downtown that might be worth a visit, and since we're the leads, I figure we should be in costume at least. Right, James? James looks up from helping Abby with the set and grins. I mean, I always envisioned this as a costume drama. It just wasn't feasible given our time frame. But it gives the play an extra layer of meaning if you two are the only ones in costume, simultaneously outside of the era's constraints and bound by them. Sure, totally. That's actually kinda cool. Mainly I just want to dress up as a hot British soldier. What do you say, Mary? Dressing up in Victorian costumes? I must unfortunately decline because I don't have diamonds. Aw, what? I'm sorry, I'm kind of behind on homework. Not all of us can star in a play and stay on top of everything else. If you think flattery will make me forgive you, you're absolutely right. I had a feeling. Not to pile on more stuff, Mary, but just so you don't forget, we do have a meeting with Vasquez later. Right, that. You head back to the suite and spend the next few hours catching up on the homework. Later that evening, you and James step into Professor Vasquez's office to find Yasmin Udoka sitting in the chair across from his desk. She turns as you enter. Ah, James, Mary, I am glad you're both here. Perhaps you can talk some sense into this old curmudgeon. Unlikely. I prefer to make my own decisions. Is this about the digital rights to Winter in July? What else? I'm not ready to commit to renewing its publication, digital or otherwise. If you would at least give me a reason for your stubbornness, we could have a conversation about this. I don't want to have a conversation. I want to be left alone to think about it. Then why did you call us in here exactly? I'd like to be kept appraised of how the play is coming along. James? Oh, yeah, it's good. Everyone's been doing good work. I'd say we'll be in great shape for opening night. Really? No on-set drama? No one stormed out of the theater in tears? Please tell me that's not the only reason you wanted us to put on my play. Well, it's up there, but it's not the only reason. What about it, Mary? Is everything going as smoothly as James says? Well, Yes, Becca's bitter, but what else is new? I don't really like throwing any of them under the bus. Can you blame her? You've been an absolute blight on her existence since you first enrolled here. What are you talking about? If anything, she's a blight on my existence. Oh, Mary, sometimes I forget how young you really are. So short-sighted, such a narrow perspective. You literally could not be more annoying right now. In any case, it sounds like progress has been good overall. I'm glad. Me too. Now I have something to look forward to other than our repetitive arguments, Enrique. Speaking of your play, James, I've read the script, and it's good. Excellent, even. Thanks. That means a lot, Miss... There's just one problem. The ending. It'll never sell. Huh? What's wrong with the ending? It's so depressing. William leaves for Scotland, and Elizabeth ends up with Lord Rathbone. Boo. It's realistic. Sure, their romance is dramatic, but it's not viable, you know? Not for that era. Honey, no one in the audience is going to care about that. What they will care about is being suckered into a compelling romance arc only to have it not pay off in the slightest. What do you think, Mary? I think the sad ending is more interesting. Besides, it's your story. Tell it how you want to tell it. Sure, do that. Just make sure I can sell it. James looks uncertainly to Vasquez, who just shrugs. You wanted to be a writer, James. I guess all I have to say is, be careful what you wish for. I guess I'll just have to sleep on it for now. I'll get back to you, Yasmin. You might have a point, but I'm not sure I'm ready to scrap the current ending. Fair. Don't wait too long, though. A sad ending is better than a sloppy last-minute edit. I'll keep that in mind. You follow James out of Vasquez's office, and the two of you trudge off through the moonlit snow together. Penny, for your thoughts? About the ending? I'm not sure. I do want to impress Yasmin, since she could really help my career and everything, but I'm not great at taking criticism. Really? You? Shocking, right? She has a point about giving the audience what they want, but I'm not sure I care what they want, but that could just be my ego talking. Sounds like quite the conundrum. At least you've still got a few days left to figure it out, right? True. Maybe I'll write an alternate ending and see how it feels. For now, let's focus on getting ready for opening night. These next few days could pass by pretty quickly. The next few days do pass you by pretty quickly, blending together in a blur of rehearsals. That's it. We're ready. We open tomorrow, folks. Bring everything you've got. The next evening, you and Caitlin peek out from behind the curtain at the theater's rows upon rows of seats steadily filling up with people. There's so many of them. I know, can you believe it? There's gotta be at least... Caitlin suddenly stops talking as her eyes rest on the second row of seats. Caitlin, what's wrong? See that guy in the second row, third from the left? Is that, like, her brother? That's Arjun. He's one of my friends from back home. Well, family friend, but what's he doing here? Caitlin ducks behind the curtain and shuts it tight, her face pale. Everything okay? Not really. He doesn't know I'm gay, and now he's gonna watch me kiss you in front of everyone, and then he's gonna tell his parents, who'll tell my parents, who'll... Caitlin, calm down. It's just a stage kiss. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Maybe not for you. I can't do this, Mary. I just can't. Will Caitlin be able to go on stage with Arjun in the audience? Will the show go on? Keep playing to find out. I mean, if he does tell his parents, that's kind of a horrible move. Like, don't do that to your friends.